Okay, lesson 44, abstract rate problems. This is like the 10th time I've done this video because it is so complicated to explain, but I think I have it down. I think I can make it easy to understand now. These problems are more like tongue twisters than like math problems. They're like the rate problems we did previously in this book, except now it's abstract, which means you're not going to get mostly variables in your answers. So, these problems are also like distance rate problems. You can see here I have the formula distance equals rate times time. That's the one that we're going to use, only instead of using distance equals rate times time, items equal the rate times their price. It will tell you how many items that you have. So, let's just get started. I have the rate. Rate is items per price or price per item. You can do it either way depending on how you need to use it in the equation. Remember, when we're multiplying, we want the units, these are kind of the units, to be able to cross out to get what you want. So let's just do a couple and hopefully that'll all make sense. First thing you want to do is assign your variables. We've done these many times. So Peter purchased P pencils for D dollars. So pencils are P, price is D dollars, the rate is P over D, pencils over dollars. So that's our first setup, and then, just like we've done before, we have a new rate. If P pencils had cost X more dollars, and I have to erase this 20 and put X here. So X more dollars. So it says if P pencils, that means all the pencils, cost X more dollars. So instead of it just being dollars, we're going to make it dollars plus X. Now you just put it in the equation. So we're going to have the rate. It says how many pencils. How many pencils is what we're asking for here. So if we need to know how many pencils, we want our dollars to cross out so that we only have pencils left. So we have our items, that'll be our pencils, is rate times the price. So we're going to take our new rate, so it's P pencils over the new rate, which is, or the new price, and this would be pencils per dollars. And then we're going to take that times the price, and we have $20, so it'll be $20. This would be dollars, and you'll see what I mean about the units crossing out. So the dollars will cross out, so we'll have P pencils. This is your answer, all over D plus X. So it's P over D plus X pencils. This is really the answer right here with the units attached to it. So that's the first one. The second one is, whoops, I forgot the 20. 20. There's that 20 right there. Alright, the second one, in the book they do it completely different, but I'm going to do it just like they do the first one, just for some consistency. So let's read this one. The coach purchased B basketballs for X dollars. So B is going to be our basketballs. X is equal to our X dollars is our price, and we have to come up with our rate. Our rate is dollars over basketball, so I have rate is equal to X dollars over B basketballs. I just always start with the dollars over the items. I think that just works if you can stay consistent. Of course that one isn't, that's the other way around. Okay, whatever. You can do it either way. But this time I did dollars over basketballs. Alright, now it says if each basketball had cost $3 less. Now do you see how this one says each basketball? Example 1 just said P pencils had cost X dollars more. It's not talking about each pencil, it's just talking about all the pencils. So that's the difference between these two problems, which makes this really complicated. So now we need to have a new rate. So our new rate So we take our rate, X dollars over B baseballs, and from each one we're going to subtract $3. And if we just find a common denominator, we're going to have B X minus 3B dollars per basketball. So since it's each, we subtracted it right from the rate. Now, how many basketballs could the coach have purchased for $200? So we're going to take rate times the price. So we're going to take our rate times our price equals the item. In the book they do it differently, which is really confusing. But if you stick with rate and you get your new rate times the price, which is this dollar thing, equals the items, you pretty much can't go wrong. So your new rate, now we want items, and you see how dollars is on the top? We want the dollars to cross out with this $200. So I can just flip these around. So I'm going to have B basketball over X minus 3B dollars times our price, which would be $200. Can you see why I flipped it around? Because I want basketballs to be the answer. I don't want dollars in it. So the dollars are going to cross out, and we just multiply straight across. So we're going to get 200B over X minus 3B, and it's going to be basketballs. Okay, that's the first type of rate problems. Just like we did two different types of rate problems when they weren't abstract, we're going to do two types of rate problems when they are abstract. So let me pull up the second group of problems. And I think we're just going to do one of these just for time's sake. You can look at the other one in the book. Hopefully it's not as confusing as that last one was in the book. Okay, this one says, on an assembly line, M workers worked H hours to produce C articles. If D workers quit, how many hours would the remaining workers have to work to produce the same number of articles? Okay, this is a different formula. This is going to be the one that's rate times workers times time equals articles. Okay, different formula you can see because we have workers, rates, and articles, so you can tell it's a different type of problem. So we need to figure out each of these things, assign variables to them, and put them into the formula. So we have our workers, and it doesn't equal M, doesn't equal W, it equals M, which is confusing to me. The time is in hours, so it's going to be H hours. The articles is C articles, and now we just need to figure out the rates. The rate for these are articles per worker hour, so it's C articles per worker hours. So it's going to be MH, so it's C articles per worker hours. Alright, now we have all our parts, and now we can put them into the formula. You can see the rate. If you took the rate and you just got it by itself, you would take your articles and divide it by workers and time. That's all we did. We took the articles and divided by workers and time. So you really have to memorize this formula, and you have to do that one from the last one, price times rate equals items. So those are the two formulas you need to know to do these, the abstract ones and the regular one. Alright, now I'm just going to, we're going to keep reading. If D workers quit, so now we have a different amount of workers. Our new workers is going to be workers minus D. So that's our new worker number. The articles will stay C, and we'll keep the same initial rate. So we're just going to put it into this problem. Rate is C over MH articles. I'm going to leave these labels on here just so that I can cross them out. So rate times workers. Workers are, we have new workers, so this is our new workers. Whoops, sorry about that. New workers, so that would be, so we have rate is right here. Now we have workers is M minus D. We have our time, which is that's what we want to find. So I'm going to leave that T because we want to find that. And then articles is equal to C. C articles. It says how many hours. So since it says how many hours, that's our variable. We're going to leave it in. And now all we have to do is use all our algebra techniques to get this T by itself. So this is M minus D, and I forgot to put the label on this. This is workers. Sorry, this is so messy. Alright, so now we can solve it for T. So we're going to get T equals, this is the tricky part, C articles over here, and we're going to flip these around. We're going to flip this, so this is going to be times MH. Hopefully this works out because I'm not doing this again. And then on the bottom we have C articles times M minus D workers. Alright, so let's see what crosses out. So these articles are going to cross out, and this is MH would be worker hours. These units are really messy, sorry about that. So the workers are going to cross out, and so our final, and the C's are going to cross out, and so our final answer is MH over M minus D, and the only units left on here are hours. And that's how you do these problems. Now in the next one it's going to be the same thing. You're going to set it up all the same, except your workers are going to be M plus 30, because you're going to add 30 workers. So that is that for lesson 44.